a lot of men who would, you know, 90% of the men I went on a date always paid for the bill. But a man, one or two of them, yeah, like, would say they want to split the bill. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I remember saying that to one guy, I ain't doing that. I'm not splitting the bill with you for drinks. Are you for real right now? And he was like, what? And he actually ended up laughing. And I said, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it, sir. So it's almost Valentine's Day, and I want to be a bit more active on my YouTube channel in many senses of the word, you know, just because I think it's fun to do. And I have this YouTube channel for a reason. So I thought I was going to talk about not dating broke men. And I'm taking this type subject with a laugh and, you know, but also quite seriously. So I was on TikTok the other day, and I saw this woman who had done a TikTok who said that she okay, no, basically she was dating a man who was broke. So I'm talking now, she's 30 and he's 40, so I'm talking from a different perspective. I'm 47, 48 next week, and I have to bring that into this conversation for reasons you understand later, because and I'm gonna have to put my son somewhere because he's gonna keep on disturbing me. Right, now I can talk. So I'm going to talk about not dating broke men for a few reasons. One of the reasons is that they will force you into a masculine type of energy. By that I mean you'll end up being the one who is providing, the one who's running around, the one who's worrying about the family, the one who's doing a lot of things. And I don't think that is ideal for that. A man who is not broke, a man who is financially secure, tends to take care of the family naturally, and he doesn't seem to be concerned a lot about, oh, what we're going to do today, or what, and that's not the type of energy you want, especially when you're raising children and you feel like you're raising a grown adult as well. So I got married really young, early. When I was 22, I got married, and we were both at ground level together, and we worked together. And then I kind of started to build myself and do a lot more than he did. And I did get to the point where I was a lot more financially stable. And even though we were together, things weren't working. And I actually did go into that masculine energy. So providing for the house and doing all sorts and making sure that he did it. So kind of like always being monitoring him and, oh, you need to do this and make sure this is, I mean, no, not when you have a child. You don't actually want that kind of energy. Anyway, at the age of 30, I was divorced, and I was now looking after my child alone. And that's another thing, that with that kind of person, it's not only just broke mentality, because a broke person, I feel sometimes, not always, have this stingy personality, because even though he wasn't now like properly broke, he was very stingy. He didn't want to help me with regards to childcare, and I was like doing everything alone. And occasionally when he felt like it, he would do it, but he kind of like expected me to be the one who would do all this stuff and chasing and doing that. And I just thought, no. So I grew into myself, and I became a very, very, very self-sufficient. I already was. I became so self-sufficient to the point, like, for 10 years, I just didn't date. I didn't go out. I didn't with men. I went out with friends and did things, and I was really, really, truly happy. I'm not gonna lie, those were actually, and I'm happy now. But what I was trying to explain is that it was so much fun. I did so many things with my daughter as well. I was very good at, I took us on holiday. I live in the UK. I took us to Florida, Disney World. I took her, and I've been to New York. I've been to Ireland. We've been to, she's been to Disneyland Paris. And it's just that I was now just able to do it myself anyway. So I got to the point where I thought, what is the benefit of a man to me in that sense, if I can already do all these things on my own? So I was never going to, if I was going back into dating, I was never going to go back to a place where I was now supporting him. I'm not doing that, not at my age. It was just not something, because I had already gone through a certain phase in my life. That's why I needed to explain. And now I'm on a certain level, and I just don't feel like I want to be dragging someone along on my life journey in that way. So I was quite happy not to be dating. I was very happy just enjoying my life, because sometimes you get to the point where you're so content within your life that you don't see the need for anything else. And I think I had so much focus on my daughter at the time that I didn't think that it was important for me to like have a male figure, because I had friends. I was doing things on my own. I even went to New York on my own, and it's just like I was thinking, like, no, I don't need this. And that's the nice thing, because when you begin to realize that you're okay on your own, you won't settle for any kind of relationship, because you won't be afraid to be on your own, because you've done it and you feel it's not as scary as you think it would be. And that is a nice feeling to have that. So my daughter turned 16. So after she turned 16, I just decided I'm going to just start dating. It was out of actually just fun, dating. And I went on a lot of dates. I'm not going to lie. I went on a lot of dates, and I did meet my partner. It's 8 years now that I've been with my partner now. And yeah, it's a great relationship. It's, I'll talk about things like that later. But what I'm trying to explain is that I was in a position where I knew what I wanted, and I wasn't going to settle for something that I didn't want. And that was important. And I used to see a lot of men who would, 90% of the men I went on a date always paid for the bill. But a man, one or two of them, would say they want to split the bill. And I was I'm not doing that. I remember saying that to one guy. I ain't doing that. I'm not splitting the bill with you for drinks. Are you for real right now? And he was like, what? And he actually ended up laughing. And I said, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it, sir. So, yeah. And I decided never to see him again. And he was mad at me for that. But I saved myself the trouble. I am not doing 50-50 with you. I'm not doing it. And my relationship works in such a way that I don't speak like, oh, you doing this, I'm doing my half. I don't know. It just flows. It really kind of flows in a way that I can't explain. So I'm not, and I don't feel like if I say, oh, I want to go to Spain, or I want to go and do that, I don't feel like, oh, I can't do it because, my other half can't afford to do this and I can't afford to do that. It's not a nice place to be. And I'm not saying that people have to be well off. I'm not well off, but I do say that if a man is financially not secure or is broke, his priority should be trying to get there rather than focusing on a woman. I never felt that I would be able to be in a relationship if I was still dealing with certain types of things and debts. That's why I took 10 years. I'm not saying take 10 years, but 10 years for me was it was important for me. And I had to kind of like get to the stage in my life where I felt comfortable and secure, and so that I wasn't just going for whatever, because if I went for whatever, then I would be in the same situation I was in when I left my marriage, my other relationship, my other partner. But it's a learning process, and and I think the older you get, the less BS you take, and you kind of like think, I don't want this. And this also kind of sparked from a conversation that I had with some colleagues. And we were talking, she was asking me about dating tips, since I talk about my dating quite a lot as a fun thing, because it was something I did, but that's now 8 years ago, so it's probably the game's changed. But I was giving like some tips, and she's 40, the same age that I kind of met, my David, this year, 40, I was 40, and we were talking, and she was saying, and there was another guy there, and he was in this conversation listening to it, and she's like, I don't want to date a man who's broke, who's got no money, who doesn't. And I got what she meant, and I think he took it like offensively, and like, oh, there's more to money. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about the money. She's a senior clinical practitioner, nurse, practitioner. She is at the top of her game now, and she's got, 3 children in private school that obviously her ex-partner still supports, and she's got her own home, and she's doing, and she's taking them away on a holiday on her own. And I know exactly what she meant, that where she's like, yeah, I can't. Because the thing is, if she brings in someone who can't afford to do the lifestyle that she has already got, she will now have to supplement him. And it kind of brings you backwards. And that's the point I'm trying to make. And I'm like, you're right in that way, because that would have happened to me. I would not keep on progressing, because you get to a point in your life where you now see yourself like, yeah, I'm getting somewhere. Even I felt like when my properties now got equity, I'm in this now better position. And then you bring someone where now you feel like you have to supplement them. It kind of like, it chops away at your source of income. And that's what I mean by broke men. It's not necessarily meaning that, and it's not a bad thing if the person's working towards something, but I still wouldn't say that it's good. The person needs to get to that position where they are now not looking to you, or you can't do things together because he doesn't have it. No, and like I said, I felt like that at 40, and I'm thinking, no, I'm not going backwards just for finding a somebody, because I'm not supplementing him. And I think sometimes a man does need to step into his power, because that is a position of power, I think, not as a bully, but as a man. We are, no matter how society has moved forward, I still feel that men should take on a leadership role, and men should be, because they're stronger than me, and physically stronger. I'm not gonna go out and start fighting, I'd send the man out because I just feel that they are stronger and should be better in that. Not better in me that, I'm better than, no, better, because I will be better with him than not better. And I hope that's making sense. And it's all just and fun, but that is what I would stick to if I were ever to date again, which I probably won't, because I don't think I will. I'm very settled and content at the moment in my relationship, but if I were to ever do that again, I probably actually wouldn't go out in a relationship anymore. I'd be probably just fine. Because it's just, I can't imagine going back into the dating world. It doesn't sound like so much fun or joy. But anyway, it's just out of this. So if you've got any stories or you want to share, or this is helpful, it's fun for you, comment and subscribe and make my channel fun. Because I will be talking about anything and everything. It's not like a specific niche channel. It just is. It just is. And I'm just having fun with it. Anyway, guys, bye for now.